Hello, Christina Rizzo. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you all are doing well. And this is quite a unique term that I've come across because I've always been suspicious, and I do have that gift of discerning things, people, whether the person is speaking it or some type of observation. As I do a collective of anyone, I've even done this with lifestyles, even cultural groups. I may have not done it so much with the recent story of that defiant kid from Virginia that where the cops had to mishandle, and I got over 700 views for that. So I'm pretty discerning on certain things out and about. Um, I can be an airhead at times, but if something is off, then I mark and avoid. And we're going to talk about clowns with the dark so called holiday of Halloween coming this week. And it's going to be um, even different. Well, where I live, they're actually going to decorate and do trunk or treat. So I'll even be surrounded by darkness. But this interesting thing, ever since I was a little girl, there was just something off about them. Whether it was crying, I was too young to remember that. But you're not going to remember things when you're, um, what do you call it, at a very young age. In addition to these characters like that's dressed up as Bugs Bunny when we went to Six Flags. So I could never do Disney as a child because those figures, Mickey Mouse, whatever, they would all scare me. And for some reason, I don't know why parents think that's funny that their child is scared. But anywho, it was just something that was going to the circus as well. During a first and second intermission, the clowns would come out. I mean, it was just something off about them. So, and then you had the recent history. I think the only clown I really didn't mind was Ronald McDonald. Um, there was a place called Wags that we used to go to when I was a kid, and there was a clown there. There was something off about him too, but thankfully adults were at the table when they talked to us. One clown, "Hello, how old are you?" Not asking our name, so it was something off about him. And the Bozo Show. So I think that yeah, those were the only clowns I that didn't spook me so much, but just in general, they are. I don't care how friendly they look. Then you got the terrified ones in these movies. Um, I think the most recent one is Terrifier. Homer the Clown is um, funny as he was on In Living Color, the so-called black one, played by Damon Wayans. There was a man going out and about spooking out kids when I grew up on the south side of Chicago during my high school years. But we didn't have to worry about it so much because um, I was in high school. But I still had to pay attention, waiting for that bus at certain times in the morning because when I would be out at 7, and in the winter, the weather tends to look differently. Get darker, get daylight a little slower and it gets darker fast in the evening. So when I have track practice, I try to get home as quickly as I can. But yeah, there was that. And then the recent pandemic a few years ago about clowns going around spooking people. And at that time, I was finishing grad school in New York. And even then, yeah, these were mostly in Queens. I lived in Brooklyn. But there was clowns, spooking out people. And the only time I did see one around Halloween, but he looked innocent and was outside some bar joint. So even if he wanted to do something, it was too big of a public. So I wasn't spooked by him, but actually coming across one, I don't even know how I would respond. So they started out as a you when you think of clown, buffoon, makeup artist, funny shoes, funny nose, uh, Joker, like in Batman, gesture. And when they first started, it says that it was mostly that they've been found in the fifth dynasty of Egypt around 24 BC, unlike court gestures. So probably the earliest one, as you see on the thumbnail, that's how they look. A lot of them were indigenous people. I'm not surprised. And then eventually this went global. The Canadians came out with this. They don't mention a year here. Then you had the circus clown in the 19th and 20th centuries. And then you got them, they come from very funny to being very spooky. So the English word was clown was first recorded in 1560s, clown or clod, in the generic meaning rusty, poor, or peasant. The origin of the word is uncertain, perhaps from a Scandinavian with word called clumsy, and it is the sense that clown is used in the name of foot, full characters in Shakespeare like Othello. The modern day is mostly the circuses, and then the word clown was borrowed. In Spanish, they're called, depends on where they were. Um, Buffon, I think that's like from buffoon, I think that's more in Spain. And then payaso is more Latin American. Um, yeah, the Charlie Chapman's in the world, and then in the U.S., Bozo the Clown, 1978, McDonald's, Ronald McDonald. Um, yeah, so this shift of these having this white and Augustine, the white clown, that was more of a French clown, more like the white face makeup, like a Charlie Chapman, and then you have the scary ones, known as the evil ones. Movies like It, The Joker, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Um, yeah, so uh, this was just something that brought my attention. I really don't have a time to, because it's like probably like over an hour the way they explained this. But you can Google this or look on YouTube about the dark history of clowns. And again, just to be safe around this holiday, this dark so-called holiday, and just pray for our children, our nation, the persecuted church. And if you are a believer, it's a chance to you can sit at home and watch movies. And if there are children coming to your door, be careful. And if it's you have time to share the gospel, by all means, that they repent and believe for Christ's payment for our sin debt in full, lived a sinless life, died, buried, resurrected on the third day, and he's ascended at the right hand of the Father, and he will come again in judgment. So he's not going to be the same nice Jesus that people like to portray him as. May the Lord bless you, keep you, and may his light shine upon you. And I'll talk to you as soon as the Lord wills it.